Welcome to week 4 lab session. I'm going to be your instructor Sabri, and today we're going to start looking into Scratch. So for next 3 weeks we'll be working with Scratch tools, and you'll be building some cool projects and custom programs. And I want you to all go to scratch.mit.edu to access Scratch, and here you can create an account. Here I created my own profile, and you need an email account and verify your account to log in. And the basic interface actually shows you what Scratch is. So if you want to learn how to make a project, there are a lot of resources, tutorials. You can also look at other people's work too. You can look into featured projects or some studios that output Scratch stuff. And you can also go to Explore, and here look at animations, art, anything that people have made, right? So games, most people make games with Scratch. And you can also explore some of these projects. So if you go to, for instance, this one, you click on the project. Here there is some information about the project. You can start playing it as well. So somebody made this cool animation, and I died basically. So I can start stop the program, and if you want to see how something like this is made, you can always go see inside. And people also, you can basically look at their code as well. This is a really complex and cool project with tons of sprites. And the more you get used to Scratch, the more you'll be able to read other people's work too. And if you want to build something of your own, you can basically start with something really simple. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you go to Scratch again, the main tab, we're going to actually do something really simple and easy to make. So we're going to create a simple character animation. And I'm going to go to Create tab, and we're going to create a project. So by default, we have a few things to consider on the Scratch interface. So on the left tab, you are seeing some cool functions that are built into Scratch. So we can have motion, look, sound, events. All of these are used to create some sort of an animation. And here in the middle we have our canvas where we write our script. On the right top we have our canvas where we animate our sprites. The sprites are located here, so we can add sprites at the bottom right. We can also add backdrops. We can add background images here as well. And if you want to save your file, you can go to File, save a copy to your account, or save it to your computer here as well. So Scratch is normally coded with sprites. So if you have a sprite, then you can basically write some actions for that sprite to do. And here we have a green flag that runs your script, and the red button stops your script. So right, so that's basically kind of the triggers or event controls for how the program is going to be executed. Now when I move the sprite around, you can see the XY coordinates are changing. So let's see, when I move it to the top, you can see the X value, the Y value is going all the way up to almost 200. When I move it down, it's going to minus 200. So basically in the middle of the canvas is located is considered as the origin of the coordinate system. So it's the 0, 0 location is the middle for the sprite, and the top left is somewhere between minus 250 to 200 for Y, which means our canvas is 500 pixels horizontally and 400 pixels vertically. So that's how we can control how our sprites are going to behave. So let's say we want our sprite to start here, and we want him to move towards the right when I hit this green flag. We can actually build this. So if I go to Control, Events, so when I press the green flag, let me actually zoom in a little bit. So when I press the green flag, I want this character to glide towards the right. So that will be located under motion, because we want to move our character. And under motion, we have a lot of options. So we can turn him, we can move him, we can go to some random location, we can glide him, or set his X or Y coordinates to something. Let's actually make him glide in from this location to some other location. I'm actually going to delete this. You can move him somewhere and then bring in glide, and that coordinate will be automatically written to the glide X and Y coordinates. And glide basically moves your character for some time, which is in seconds, to some x and y coordinate. So when I move him around and I hit the green flag, you see that he glided to that location in 1 second. I can make him go there really slow, so I can move him around, and now he moved there in 2 seconds. And we can also add some other functions too. So if you go to sound, maybe we want him to play meow when he arrives at his destination. So if I press the green flag, so he moved there in 2 seconds, and then we heard the sound meow, right? So this is these are basically the sounds he can make. And we have some costumes for the sprite, which is basically a graphical interface where we can customize him. We can also change or play with his sound as well. I'm not going to go into these details. Basically, if I were to modify the sprite, it's a graphical element, so it will be updated in our code as well. So the way Scratch is built, we have sprites, we have background, we have coordinates, and we can run functions on those sprites. And the program is run with this type of global flag, with the green flag. When I press it, the function starts running, the program starts running, and then we have some animation. So I'm going to actually start doing a new project. I'm going to delete this sprite, so you can see that I lost the script because the scripts are associated with the sprites. I'm going to choose a backdrop, and from the backdrop menu, let's create this, want to grab one of these bedroom scenes. So this bedroom scene, I'm going to have an animal and a character interact. So that's basically going to be the exercise for today. So I go to choose a sprite, and let's type in something like we want to place a dog. So let's create a dog. This dog's name is Dot, and I'm going to, let's resize him to be 70. So I'm going to make him a bit smaller, and maybe he starts here, and then we're going to choose another sprite, which we call as Abby, and Abby is going to be right here. So what I want to do is have Abby move first to us and say, hi, my name is Abby, and then we want her to move to Dot, and we want Dot to turn around, move to Abby, and then bark. And we want the characters to kind of interact and have some expressions, and that's what we're going to build today basically. So I'm going to move here to the beginning, and I'm going to start with, let's see, we're going to start with the when green flag is clicked. We want Abby to move from here to here. So we want her to glide. Let's say her starting position is here. I go to motion, and I want her to move somewhere around here, and we want her to glide there for, let's say, 1 second, and we want her to say some message. So if you go to let's see, sound, looks, we can use looks. We want her to say hello for 1 second, and then we want her to say my name is Abby, my name is Abby, for 1 second. You can see that these are the plugins. So I'm dragging them from the left from the menu, and I'm dropping them. And you can see that they're specially arranged so that they can plug to one another. So if two components plug, that means they could be associated, they could be linked. And by default, you can see that this green flag, it doesn't have any connections available on top, because that's how things start flowing. And then we can also change their ordering. We can disconnect them, connect them again. It's really, I think it's really intuitive. You'll be able to grasp it really fast. So Abby is going to move here, and then say, hello, my name is Abby. So I'm moving her to the starting position. Let's hit the green flag. So she moved here and said, hello, my name is Abby. Then we want her to move here, and let's see, we want her to move here. So go to motion again. And glide to that location for, let's say, 2 seconds this time. And we want her to say something. So let's say she says, hey Dot. The dog's name is Dot. So she says, hey Dot. Hey Dot, what's up? and she says that for 1 second as well. And let's see if this works. So she starts here, press the green flag, hello, my name is Abby. She moves here and says, hey Dot, what's up? And basically that's how we want to animate Abby. And then what we want is the dog to respond or react to Abby when she comes there and talks to him. And we can do this by broadcasting a message. So just saying, hey Dot, what's up isn't enough for these characters to interact. So you need to code how that message is going to be transferred between these characters. And we can do that by going to broadcast message. And we can broadcast a new message, and let's call it Dot. And this Dot could be a special name we give to that message. And now I can actually switch to Dot, and here you can see that there's a new option available, which is when I receive Dot. So when Dot receives that message, we want him to maybe play bark, right? So what's going to happen is when I press the green flag, the script is going to start running, and first Abby is going to move in the room. She's going to say, hello, my name is Abby. Then she's going to move to Dot, say, hey Dot, what's up? And then we're going to broadcast Dot, so Dot is going to bark when he hears that message. So that was the bark. And maybe we can make this a bit more interesting. So rather than like, you can see that every time I'm moving Abby to a starting position, it's because the script doesn't actually reset her. So maybe we can actually set this position as her starting position. So if I go to motion, then I can make her go to that location at the end of the script. So when I do the animation, she does her interaction with Dot. And when Dot barks, then Abby moves. And she does it immediately. Maybe she waits a little bit. So we could go to controls. So we can wait maybe a few seconds, like 4 seconds. And then Abby basically resets, right? And we can do some other cool stuff in between that. So we could do, for instance, let's say that when Abby is here, we want Dot to, let's see. So when Abby is somewhere here, I'm trying to find 87 to -8, so that was the location for Abby. Abby is going to be here. So what if Dot turns back when he hears the message and then moves to Abby a little bit and then barks, right? How do we code that? So if I go to Dot, so he's going to react to Abby when he hears the message. So the message is Dot. So before barking, we want Dot to turn around. So if you go to looks, and we can change Dot's costume. So maybe we want Dot's costume to change. And you can actually check out Dot's costume. So if you go to costumes, Dot D is facing behind. Dot A is facing here. So initially we want his costume to be Dot A, but when the message is given, we want him to turn behind, and then we want him to move to Abby. So we want him to move a little bit to Abby, and we can say glide to that position for 1 second and then bark, right? So let's see if this would work. I'm going to move him in this position. So let's see. Abby is moving. So Abby moved and then he barked. But basically they are, let me disconnect this when she's here. Maybe this is the right position. So this position is 58 to -9. So let's actually enter that. -9. And by default, we could have, let's see. We could actually have, we have this location set. We can also set it in the beginning. So when I press it, it's doing something weird. So we can actually make a copy here. In case she didn't move to that location, she can move it in the beginning. So we can actually delete this. So she starts there. She says, hello, my name is Abby. And while Dot is stuck in that position, so we have to reset dot before we run the function. So if I switch to dot now, we can go to events. So when the green flag is clicked, we want dot's costume to be let's see, to be dot A, and we want him to be at this location. So we want him to start in that location. So not glide, but set or go to that location. So that will actually, I think, do the trick. So when I hit the green flag, you can see that the characters are reset. So she's moving here. Hey Dot, what's up? Dot is moving and then barking. And maybe Abby's costume, we can change it a bit as well. So rather than her starting with Abby A, we can maybe start her with Abby D, where her mouth is closed. So we go to looks, switch costume to Abby D. So by default, in the beginning, she starts with this posture, and then before she talks, maybe she switches to Abby A, where she opens her mouth, and then at the end, after Dot barks, maybe she gets into excited appearance, right? So the way Dot can give message back to Abby is by him broadcasting another message. So if I go to events and broadcast here, so when he barks, maybe he barks and gives a message called bark. Now Abby can respond to that message. So when I receive bark, Abby switches to costume Abby D, right? So let's see how this goes. I'm going to press, my name is Abby, and then she moves here. Hey Dot, what's up? We actually set it to Abby D. We want it to be Abby C. Abby C is more excited, so let's switch to Abby C. Maybe after she talks, she can also like close or open her mouth, but I'm not going to add those. Like that's basically going to increase the script a lot. And I think in its essence, the animation is done. So we created some linear functions where the character would do some motion, change her appearance, and then give some messages, and then broadcast the message so that the dog can interact, and the dog does the same, right? So when he receives the message, he turns back, moves to the character and barks, and the character also responds to that. And maybe she can also say something else to the dog, but I think that's enough. Like maybe she can say, you're so cute, or something like that. So we could say, not think, but say, you are so cute, for 1 second. And I think that should do it. So let's make this full screen and run the function. So she comes, says, hello, my name is Abby. She moves here, says, hey Dot, what's up? Dot moves, and then she says, you're so cute, right? So that was our tutorial for this week. And you can basically create any type of background, any type of character flow or animation you want, and that's exactly what we want you to work on during the lab sessions for this week. So we're going to give you a handout which is titled as Basic Character Animation. This tutorial will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and we want you to upload your animations by the end of the day. So if your session is on Tuesdays, we want you to upload it by midnight on Tuesday or the other days, right? So by midnight should be upload by midnight should be on the same day. And the brief is really simple. We want you to follow the instructions in this tutorial and complete a scratch animation having the following criteria. Create at least 2 character sprites and choose a corresponding background image. So you can create any type of character flow, any type of interaction for the characters as you like. And we want you to use motion, looks, sound to animate a dialogue between the sprites and play some sounds and show some messages. So you can create anything you want and explore the Scratch interface. So it doesn't have to be a bedroom, it could be out in the environment. Maybe it's a basketball player shooting the hoops, or 2 characters talking with each other. But we want you to look into motion, changing looks, and sound as well. So maybe we can title this as costumes, right? So motion, costumes, and sound. Those are the things you can consider, and those are all covered in this tutorial basically. And we want you to upload a screenshot of your animation, so something like this, where you show us kind of how it looks like. And we want you to upload the Scratch file as well. So the Scratch file by default comes with the extension SB3. And we want you to rename your files with your name and last name separated by the underscore, so that we can identify you and grade you or like check your progress really easily. And that's going to be it for this week. So I know this is going to be maybe your first time doing some coding exercise, and Scratch is really user friendly. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with it. So try to play around with the tools, try to look at different sprites and backgrounds, and have fun creating your first program, and we are looking forward to what you're going to come up with. And next week we're going to continue doing more advanced exercises where we're going to build more custom games and other types of dynamic tools, loops as well. So it's essential that you learn these tools and also look at other tutorials and examples on Scratch. So I'll see you next week.